up in Glastonbury, which is just outside Bristol, and there was a lot going on close to me, and I kind of fell in love with that world and started buying records. Every spare penny I had, I spent on vinyl, and then I started promoting nights. Through promoting nights, I met someone with a studio, and then they started teaching me how to make music on Logic 3 from 16. It's been my main passion in life, and it's just escalated from there, basically.
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, but as you can tell by my weird ass accent, I grew up in a few different places. Fortunately, my family life led me to travel to a few places and grow up representing Trinidad and Tobago. So I guess being my parents' kid fostered like a great sense of pride in Trinidad and Tobago culture and music. That's how I got into the thing. I mean, it was drumming first before anything else, right? I mean, my dad used to beat on our backs to put us to sleep. So I never actually remember learning to beat drums or any instrument. But I left Trinidad to go to high school in Miami, started to, experience that high school vibes. But I really always felt for Caribbean music and West Indian music as part of my soul and blood and soul, life force. Started making dancehall music in Miami. Always working on soca stuff. When I came to Trinidad, most recently to live, it all came together. And fast forward, I was on tour in the UK with Canal. Went down to Bristol a couple times, a couple of years in a row. I fell in love with the place. I felt like there was something about it. And met Sam, got together, invited me to the studio. I invited him to Carnival. He just split up with a girlfriend, right, at the time. Came down. That's the best time to come to Trinidad. Before Carnival, and he just split up with the girl and them kind of thing. He came down, and we've been making music ever since.
I think there was one particular day I was kind of like really, really hungry. Keshav was like, yeah, we're gonna eat some food just now. And then like,
so weird.
Two hours pass, and I'm like, I'm hungry, and another friend of ours, Corey, who now actually lives in Bristol, but at that time was the bass player for Tree Canal. He was like, Sam, you realize just now over here, it don't mean the same as in UK, right? Just now could mean now, it could mean 2 hours, it could mean 8 hours.
Next week.
Trinidad.
Yeah, but
it may never happen.
Basically, that phrase is a way to sort of encapsulate both sides of what we do. So yin yang, kind of dark light, joyful, dark type of situation, and just now in their culture means something that's happened already. In our culture, as he said, it's quite an ambiguous meaning. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but it really
lives by the just now culture.
What would you say is the difference between performing in the UK and performing in Trinidad? Because I know Trinidad is just
it's not.
Trinidad ain't easy.
It ain't easy at all, right? But they have two different styles that we encounter, right? Because we have been fortunate enough to play. We don't play very much in Trinidad. We would play the one-off gig. Max, we played maybe 4 gigs here. The first ever gig we did was at Peter Doig's art studio, and that's kind of what maybe helped us get together in the musical sense. But it's different in European crowds and wherever else that we've gone so far. The way that they respond to the music that we make is very much like this kind of like this vibes, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm speaking from like an anatomical level, right? Yeah. But down here it's like that. And if you're in a dance, you won't. A Trinidadian DJ or artist doesn't always get that whole hands up thing. It's changing now because of the kind of dance music culture. But like maybe coming down for the first couple times and maybe when we played here first, it's hard to tell if they're feeling their shit.
yeah.
Because it's like, but the musical, like the crowd is discerning in Trinidad, and it's true. Because Kanye came here, got booed. A lot of people have been booed here.
It's a tough crowd.
It's a tough crowd. Absolutely.
I think Trinidad is not the most open-minded when it comes to music. They know what they like. I mean, and that's the broader public. There's
Absolutely.
obviously pockets of open-minded people, but it's a strange industry here. I mean, the fact that it's so seasonal.
That's it, and it's also so
crazy.
nasal, brand new as well. That the industry sort of vibe is now being curated, and we're now seeing Trinidad and Tobago. Wow, what it takes to actually curate an industry, and to be very honest, we can actually quicker jump on the conveyor belt of the working method in a place like England where he's from and which is my second home. Our studio's out there, we live out there for half the year, than here in Trinidad, because it's, you know, the philosophy of critical mass, proportion of population size to phenomena in the population in terms of societal development. That's a bit wordy, but that has a lot to do with what?
Wordy?
Yeah, me? You get me going. But yeah, it has a lot to do with it. You know, we're a small country, but we're a powerhouse, and that's what we're all about.
Hell of a lot of talent. Not a lot of them get an opportunity. I mean, unless you're doing soca and you want to basically join Marshall Montano's crew.
Yeah.
Big up Marshall Montano. He's an incredible artist, but he's kind of like, unless you're doing it his way, there isn't a lot of opportunity. I mean, for artists and artists with a different view on how they want to do music. It's very kind of set in stone.
It's quite like the rest of our culture, and it's not just music. If you look at things from a public perception point of view, it's oligopolies and monopolies, right? B-Mobile, DJS, 2 at the top. Bungie, Marshall, 2 at the top. Apex. It's very much comes to the head, the tip of the triangle. We're anywhere else, but we're so small that it's a proportional thing. You know what I mean? So we all experience it a lot closer. Everybody knows what goes on with everybody else. You know what I mean? So
it's a shame, because if you don't do soca, and there's a hell of a lot of talented people here who don't do soca, they're not really getting any opportunity to make it.
We just see it from a purely musical standpoint. That there's so much talent here. There's so much potential from whatever we can do. We'll do for the culture, and also to be able to enrich ourselves musically, because there's such a well of talent and inspiration in Trinidad.
A lot of people know the songs you all work on, but when you see Jus Now, they're like, who?
Sounds the way it does is because it's his mind and my mind, the music and background that we have comes out in a certain way, and it goes to the both of us, and it happens a certain way. More than anything, as individuals and as a collective, we're producers. That's what we do. We make music, but we perform it live as well too.
When you get crazy ideas to decide, I'm going to start playing live percussion with it's professional DJ.
Well, no, I mean that's always been around, right? It's not a novel idea. It's been there for a while.
The rhythm section, right? You get that now.
Yeah, you always get that. I mean, it's not very common here. It's not very common here in Trinidad, right? Outside of carnival situations. I used to just jump on with these DJs that used to play at Space Miami and stuff, and just jump on with like Eric Murillo or whoever those guys were, and just like jump on a ice bucket or whatever, you know what I mean? Or have drums and play with some friends and that kind of thing. But although it's quite a common thing for drummers to drum along with DJs, it's an essential part of what we do. The percussion is also very much the bed of our sound. It's the indigenous percussion of the cultures that we come from. Cultural appropriation is a hell of a thing, and I think it's very easy to fall into that trap and say, I'm going to take this sample straight from a culture. But for us, we play the music. We work with people that are from that culture, try to learn from it. So we get some education, we learn. We're working on a lot of music right now in Trinidad. We have an EP coming out first. With him, working with a lot of Trinidadian artists, the same friends that we spoke about, who are, we're very fortunate to have really talented professional friends as artists. Yeah. So real tunes making right now.
All right. I appreciate what you all guys do.
Respect, man.
I really appreciate it.
Man. Full respect. Thank you. Nice talk.
Yeah,
we have to go and play a gig right now in the black box.
Guys, I don't want to take up the time.
Nah, it's cool, man. Presto.
Bro.
Yo,
Yeah,
Presto.
Blessings, man.
Raven. Respect.